associate pastor-elect. And thank God for him that was out tonight. It's supposed to be the bus coming up here. I don't know what happened. He's the only one representing Oasis tonight on the Betty. Excuse me, on the Betty. So instruction was for the bus to be here, for Oasis to be out tonight. But I thank God that along with us who are out tonight is my son, who is the firstborn from my wife, and that's Jazz, and she already introduced, but she didn't say where they live. All the way from Indiana, I mean from Tennessee. They used to live in Indiana, okay, and recently moved into Tennessee. So we got Tennessee in the house. Amen. And we also have Pennsylvania in the house, and then New Jersey in the house. So that's too used to by location. Praise the Lord. So we thank God for them and who came along, and the practical life. I thank the Lord for my wife, Pastor Letty Rolle, again for 40 years of marriage. But we thank God that the Lord is in this house. Amen. I say the Lord is in the house. We ain't gonna worry about the crowd. Crowd don't move me. Crowd don't move me. You don't worry about the crowd. You look at the cloud. Come on, somebody. Because as long as the cloud is over the people of God, oh, glory be to God, then God is giving instructions for his people. And I believe in this 11th-year bishop and Lady Rolle that God is about to do something extensively in practical life. I say practical life, I believe that God is getting ready to do something extensively in your life for these 11 years. And what is so, dramatic about this tonight is that 11 and 11 is 22. So this is a number of agreement tonight. Come on, somebody. Come on, give me thanks to praise. You got practical life is 11 and Oasis is 22. You put them together, you get 33. Come on, somebody. Because God is ready to do the most. I believe the Oasis of love and peace alive. We should give God a mighty praise. Yes, indeed, praise the Lord. Amen. And the grandchildren, Najee and Ariana and KJ. In fact, Ariana said to me today, and we're going to pray and we're going to let the Lord have his way. She said, Grumpy, your face white. So I said, yes. She said, it's getting so white. I said, yes, it's getting white. I say, I'm getting grumpy, getting old now. So she said, why you got to get old? I said, because God have it that way. But praise God. We must give God thanks for what he is doing. And once he is in the mix, and I feel God is here in this tabernacle. Let us pray. Father, we give you thanks and praise. God, we honor you. And we magnify your name, Father. And Lord, in the name of Jesus, I pray that you will speak with my mouth. Think with my mind. Lord, that I will declare this word to your people tonight, Father. Bless the visionary of this house. Bless his family, oh God. Bless the officers and members of this house. And as you would promote them, Father, as they look forward to year number 12, I pray your grace and your continual mercy be upon them, Father. In the name of Jesus, now we thank you for what you will say through your word tonight. For your word is a lamp unto our feet, and it is a light unto our path. And we praise you and we bless you tonight. Somebody bless him. Somebody bless him. Bishop Rolle is a special man. You know, he's special. And I know your wife always tell you that. But I'm going to say it from a friend to a friend, from a colleague to a colleague. You are special to me. Praise God. And as a couple, you are special to me and my wife. And from a church, you are special to the new Oasis of Love Kingdom Ministry. Amen. Pastor King didn't tell you she's my cousin. But anyway, you know now. That's my Lord. Bless the Lord. The Rollins. What did I say? Bless the Lord. Yeah, we go way back from Bishop Moss. Clifford Moss. My God. Hallelujah. In the beginning of this text tonight, as you have chosen for your theme, faithfulness in God brings promotion. Amen. The faithfulness must come out of God in order for promotion. I reiterate this theme again tonight. Faithfulness in God brings promotion. So if you are faithful in God, your day of promotion will come. God is still looking for faithful stewards and faithful people. We are living in a world today where people's attitude are not as faithful as it was in days gone. We are challenged with in these days and times where today people serving God and tomorrow they go on a vacation with God. I heard my wife mention as the scripture declares, as for Joshua said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Amen. In the beginning of this text, Nebuchadnezzar, he was king, he made this big image. And we got a lot of images amongst us today, especially in these times. Now, children, we let the children, the girls play with their dolls, baby, that's an image. I'm not saying that that's a God. I say it's an image. We let our boys, they have the teddy bear or whatever, and these are images. There are something that is called a bus. And perhaps the Prime Minister, late Prime Minister of the Bahamas, late Celine Oscar Pinland, there is a bus. An image of him. Samilo. There is an image of him. There are different images that is called a bus. It's an image, but these images are not worship or idolatry. But in the time of Nebuchadnezzar, it wasn't no bus. type of image. But Nebuchadnezzar came up with this image, and what he did with it, he refined it with the best quality of material that he could find. It was a golden image.
Right.
And everything that glitters ain't gold. Come on, tell your neighbor, everything that glitters is not gold. This was a big image, and of course, when the king makes a decree, or he declares a decree, listen here, everyone is subject to that declaration.
Yes.
And so the decree came about where King Nebuchadnezzar, as he built this image, he said, listen here, in all of Babylon, everyone must bow to this image. Whether you are Babylonian or a stranger or a Hebrew, whoever you are in this country or nation, you must bow. Well, I come by to tell you tonight, you better be careful who you're bowing to. Because many people are bowing, but they are not bowing to Jehovah Jireh. They are not bowing to the King of Kings. They are not bowing or being subject to the God of Jacob, of Isaac. They are bowing. And yes, indeed, the people bowed, and what Nebuchadnezzar did, he brought everybody together. He brought the governors and the captains and the judges and treasurers and counselors and sheriffs and all the rulers of the province. Everybody, the high commissioner and all of them, the prison officer. Oh, glory be to God. He brought everyone in the midst. He brought all of the high officials in the midst. And when he brought them in the midst, and they were all there, Bishop Rolle, even the commissioner of police.
Yeah, he was there too.
Everybody was there. Everyone that had authority in the land was bowing. Come on, somebody.
Yes.
But we are in a nation today, church, we got to pray. Somebody say more prayer, more power. If every time we got to pray now for those that are in authority is right now. Because we don't know who we're bowing to. We don't know who they're bowing to. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king, as he gathered all of them together, then the princes and the governors and captains and the judges in verse 3, treasurers, the treasurers, my God, all of them that hold the money, everyone, all of the powers that be was in the midst. All of them were there, and at the sound of the cornet and the sound of the trumpet and all of those and the flute and all of those, they bow down and worship the image. But they were bowing something that couldn't talk. They were bowing something that could not give a miracle. They were bowing something, that's right, sis, that had no power. Glory be to God. And somebody say, more power, more power. Well, let me get to it right here. And there were the Chaldeans there as well. Wherefore in verse 8, at that time certain Chaldeans came there and accused the Jews. That's problem right there. Because what they did, they were prejudiced. Because they were not Babylonians. They started looking at the Jews. Come on, somebody. And so the Jews and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were strangers in the land of Babylon.
That's right.
And because they were strangers in the land of Babylon, they kept their praise unto their God. Come on, somebody. See, you could be in a strange land, but you got to be faithful from where you came from. Come on, somebody. There's some people who are not in the land where they were born, and they become subject to what's going on in the land. But not Shadrach, not Meshach, nor Abednego. They were faithful as strangers. Come on, somebody. They were faithful in a different location. Wherever your location or your location may be faithful. Come on, take a little bit of faith. will be promoted or rewarded. We've been traveling, y'all been doing it for 11 years. Stay faithful. We've been doing it for 22 years. I gonna stay faithful. Come on, somebody. Tell your neighbor, I gonna stay faithful. Give him praise. Listen here, this what God has placed into this man of God, practical life. Okay, relating to experience or real situation. That's what practical life is all about. It's relating to a real situation. And if it's relating to a real situation, now, Bishop, you got to have real people amongst you.
Yes.
You cannot have no jellyback. You cannot have no wishy-washy. Am I talking to you practical life?
Yes, yes.
You cannot be when you're showing up to prayer meeting when you want to. I'm talking to somebody. You got to be faithful no matter what. You got to be faithful unto death. That's what the Bible says. They that are faithful must be faithful unto death. Because God promotes faithfulness. Be thou faithful unto death, he said, and I will give you a crown of life. Some people want the crown, but they won't be faithful.
Preaching.
A lot of people follow in church because they follow in the religiosity of the ritual or of service, but they in the church, but they are not of the church. They are in the church, but the church is in them. Oh, come on, brother. You better talk to me yet. See, the church got to be in you. And I'm not talking about the building. I'm not talking about the religion. But I'm talking about, see, the church. Jesus Christ, he died for the church. And salvation was founded. The principle of it was founded upon the rock. Come on, somebody. And who's that rock? Jesus is still the rock. He is still the rock. And as a contractor. And we have the idea in what happened the other day with the hurricane in Apico. My God, why a lot of those houses was destroyed and whatever conclusion we want to come to. Those houses, it told me that two particular houses what really stood was because they were built on a strong foundation.
My God, yes.
The contractor, they said, died, but the house still stood. And I'm not saying that he died in the storm. He died perhaps some years ago, but those houses stood.
Yes.
I'm not even trying to measure up also to the powers of God because because God is almighty, and listen, if God wanted those houses to come down, they would have fallen down. But those houses were built on a solid rock, and we are going to have to make sure that our faithfulness is built on a solid rock. It must be built on Christ. If it's built on anything, then you will not stand. Oh, glory be to God. But I thank God that Jesus Christ is that solid rock, and when we build on Him, everything will stand. When we build on Christ, that's why I like the song. The songologist says, on Christ the solid rock I stand. All of the ground is sinking sand. I did not trust the sweetest thing, the holy name of Jesus' name. Glory to God. If we don't do the Lord, then we got to look to Him, who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or know. Let somebody praise Him. we believe.
Yes.
That's right. Amen.
And you're celebrating 11. I'm not talking about 9/11. Because even though 11 represents the judgment and the different trials in life and all of this, but also 11, it represents a transition. Come on, somebody. Because what you have came out of, God allowed you to live out of that. And because now you're getting ready for a transition in year number 12. Come on, somebody. Are you ready for this transition for the hell that you took? Are you ready for this transition for the sleepless night? Are you ready for this transition? To those who once started with you and you look around, they are not around anymore. But to the faithful, oh, glory be to God. Come on, somebody. God will reward faithful people. God will reward faithfulness. Oh, give somebody, come on. Slap somebody a high five. And say, I'm going to be faithful. 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 You got a person working for you. They come in when they want to. They're supposed to be working 5 days. They work 3 days. And want to see him pay. I'm going to give him praise in this house. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. So if it ain't gonna happen in the natural, what you think about the supernatural? If it ain't gonna happen in the heavenly, do you think it's gonna happen on the earthly? No. Oh, Jesus, have mercy. Come on, give him praise in this house. We must earn our reward. In this year number 11, and what it represents, and it shall come to pass, one in Isaiah, what scripture mentioned here, and it shall come to pass that day shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. Watch this now, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from the Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath. Now watch this one now, and from the islands of the sea. Come on, give him praise. So you have that? And from the islands of the sea.
Yes, sir.
So God is going to bring his reward, and it is stated through the word of God that even the islands of the sea will be rewarded. Are you living on them islands? Are you on one of the islands? In this time, in this life as we face, in the vicissitude of this life, the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs, the haves and the have-nots. Because we have Christ. He will be faithful. He will make the impossible possible. Anything happened to you which was so impossible lately is now possible. Listen, I got a testimony. Do you have a testimony? That it didn't look too good? And you thought you was going down? You thought you was going under? You thought it wasn't going to happen? You got tired? You got discouraged? And in the nick of time, God came through. I'm not talking to somebody tonight. In the nick of time, God came through. Oh, give him praise. In the nick of time, God came through. I'm talking to somebody tonight that if it ain't happened yet, but your faithfulness is going to make room for you. them. Oh, glory be to God. Now I'm going to hit the text. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished. In other words, he was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors. Watch this now. He spoke to the counselors. He didn't speak to the sheriff. He did not speak to the treasurer. But he spoke to the counselors. Because he needed counsel. He needed counsel because, listen here, he said, now listen here, did not we cast 3 men in the fire? I need counsel.
I'm confused.
I'm confused.
Yes.
I need counsel. Because my eyes probably acting up. My mind is probably warped right now.
Yes.
I'm confused. Did not we throw cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire?
Yes, yes.
Now, if we go back, when the decree was made and the news went about that them boys ain't worshiping this idol you built.
Lord Jesus.
They're disobedient to the worship and at the sound of the music.
Yes.
They ain't bowing. When you have faithfulness in you, no matter the noise of the market, you put your mind on the price